Hello students, this is part 1 of day 4. Now in the previous class I told you what is respiration. Respiration is the oxidation of food by which energy is released. Today in this slide we are going to study how respiration in plants as well as in the animals takes place. At night when there is no photosynthesis, you know that photosynthesis takes place in the plants during daytime. So CO2 elimination is a major exchange activity which is going on. And during this morning time, CO2 which is generated during respiration is used up for the process of photosynthesis. Hence there is no CO2 release. Instead, oxygen release is the major event at this time. Now in respiration in animals they have evolved different organs for uptake of oxygen from the environment and to get rid of the CO2. Now in the fish, gills are present, in the insects, spiracles are there which helps in the process of respiration or oxidation of food. Now human respiratory system in human being has been associated with various organs. These organs are called organs of respiratory system. The main organs of the human respiratory system are, it starts from the nose. This is a nasal passage. It has a trachea, which is also known as windpipe. Then we have a tool structure running from the trachea, that is a bronchi, or singular will be bronchus. We have a lungs as well as we have a diaphragm, which is also known as chest cavity. Now children, inside nose we have a fine hair-like structure as well as mucus is also present, which does not allow the air to go inside in our lungs, which is being contaminated with the dust particles. So it protects our nose, our lungs from the dust particles. In human beings, air is taken into the body through the nostril. The air passing through the nostril is filtered by fine hair, which already in the previous slide I have explained to you. When air passes through the nostril, it passes through the throat into our lungs. Within the lungs, the passage divides into smaller and smaller tubule-like structures called as alveoli or alveolus, singular form. The alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases can take place. The wall of alveoli contain an extensive network of blood vessels. When we breathe in, we lift our ribs, flatten our diaphragms, and the chest cavity becomes larger as a result. And because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fill the expanded alveoli. The blood brings carbon dioxide from rest of the body for release into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by blood in the alveolar blood vessel to be transported by all the cells in the body. During the breathing cycle, children, when air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air so that there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. Now here you observe this is a lung structure. We have a trachea, which is known as a windpipe. This trachea is divided into the bronchus, and they are being divided into secondary and tertiary bronchioles, and at the tip of it we have an alveolus or alveoli. Here the exchange of gases take place. So when we take in air, this chest cavity, it enlarges. Our chest is filled with the air. This diaphragms go down, and this is the process of inhalation. When we have to give out carbon dioxide, this diaphragm comes back to its position, and this alveolus which is present here, it gives out carbon dioxide. It comes to this bronchus, trachea, and then exhalation is being done. The diaphragm, children. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fill the expanded alveoli. The blood brings carbon dioxide from rest of the body for release into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by blood in the alveolar blood vessels to be transported to all the cells in the body. During the breathing cycle, when air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain some residual volume of air, so there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. So children, by seeing this diagram, you be very careful in observing this balloon-like structure which is present at the tip of this bronchioles. And this bronchioles, if you see the structure, they are the alveolus, or many will be alveoli. They have been surrounded by these blood capillaries. So oxygen is taken in, it comes to this trachea, it passes through this bronchus, it goes through this small secondary tertiary bronchioles, and at last it reaches to the balloon-like structures known as alveolus. And this alveolus take in oxygen, and rest of the body is bringing the CO2 blood, and from here it comes to this alveolus again. It passes through this bronchioles, it passes through this bronchus, trachea, and exhalation takes place. Now children, next topic we are going to start is the transportation. The role of transportation is undertaken by the human circulatory system, moving essential nutrients and minerals throughout the body and metabolic waste products away from the body. The human circulatory system consists of network of arteries, veins as well as capillaries, and it has a main organ, children, that is our heart. Now blood vessels are of three types. Arteries. Arteries always carry oxygenated blood, children, that is an oxygen rich blood, away from the heart to all the body tissues, and they are thick walled. But there is only one artery, that is pulmonary artery. It carries deoxygenated blood. Second one is a capillaries. These are small blood vessels which connect the arteries as well as veins. Their thin walls allow oxygen, nutrients and carbon dioxide and other waste to pass to from the cells. The next third one is the veins. These are blood vessels that carries blood back to the heart, and they always carry deoxygenated blood. They are thin walled, but there is only one vein that carries the oxygenated blood, and that is pulmonary vein. Now transportation is being carried out by the three types of the blood cells. So the first type of the blood cell is the red blood cell, which is also known as erythrocytes. They are most abundant in the blood, and it carries the oxygenated blood, and it has a red pigment which is also known as hemoglobin. The function of the RBC is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the cell of the body, and it pick up carbon dioxide from other tissues and unload it in the lungs. The second type of the blood cell is the white blood cell, which is also known as leukocyte. It is a part of the body that protects itself against foreign substances and various types of infection. Children, WBC, it kills bacteria through the process of phagocytosis. The third one is the platelets, which is also known as thrombocyte. Platelets are the part of cell that the body uses for clotting. When we get injury, so we can see a clot has been formed, it is due to the platelets. It helps to promote other blood clotting mechanisms.